Well, happy 2026, everybody. And what's the news today? So we now know $50 billion was injected by the Fed into a major bank. We think JP Morgan. And that reason is because they basically flopped on their silver shorts. They went out, so they needed the Fed to give them money. We also know yesterday, yes, that's right, the 31st of December, was the highest amount, the standard repo facility was hit, 75 billion. In fact, the last 2 months it's been being hit every day. What that means is there's not enough cash in the system and the Fed has to print it and give it to them. We also know that QE is currently occurring, $40 billion a month. And what does all this mean? It basically means the banks have made terrible bets. There's problems. Socializing the losses. Again, taxpayers, that's us, we pay for this bailout because when the Fed prints, it inflates the money supply and it makes everything more expensive. So that's what they're doing. There's terrible trouble in the banking system at the moment. No one really is lending to each other. SOFR, which is basically the interbank rate, it's going through the roof because no one trusts each other. So the rate that they're charging to each other is very high. Real big problems. We also obviously have the commodities, silver and gold, going up massively in the last few months, which means people are scared and they're shifting their wealth out of the banking system into something that has no counterparty risk, which is metals, right? There's no counterparty there. And so what can we expect for 2026? Well, I expect a stock market crash, but don't worry, the Fed will come in and bail it out as usual, and it will go back up, right? So that's the first thing. Secondly, AI wasted billions and billions. It'll continue wasting billions and billions. Will this pop? I don't know. I mean, look at Tesla. Tesla is just the biggest example. It just read Q4. It's just Q4 estimate just now said they expect a 15% drop in sales and the stock market's going up. Every quarter, they're getting worse and worse results. They're selling less and less cars, and the stock market keeps going up. So when it pops, what happens? I don't know. But all I can say is we are in some extremely deranged times, very risky. The Fed is printing money like no tomorrow at the moment, handing it out to all these banks that made stupid bets. And the underlying economy is rotten, right? Forget the financial figure-jiggery, which is all this, what this is about. The underlying economy, people's jobs, people going to work, what's actually happening is very bad. So I think more of a grind in 2026, really. No major, I don't know, will there be a major recession? I don't know, I don't think so. But certainly a nice little crash being 10%.